We now have Richard Wise from Polysolar.
Yes.
You have about 7 minutes.
Thank you very much. That actually leads on very well to what we offer. So I'm Richard, I'm from Polysolar. I'm hoping it's going to come up. Polysolar are specialists in architectural transparent solar PV. So the most efficient and most cost-effective way, just first up, to install solar is either on your roof or on the ground. If you can't install that if you can't do that, or if you've utilised that already, then that's where we come in. So we offer, so it's basically it's glass that can generate you power. It has a transparency of anything between opaque all the way up to 80%, but it's proportionate to the amount of power that you generate, the amount of power, the amount of light that is allowed through. So the majority of the time, if it's overhead glazing, we would install panels with a lower transparency, either 10% or 20%, to generate you as much power as possible. If it's a facade or a pane of glass that you're getting a lot closer to, that you need visibility through, then we would advise installing 50-60% transparent glass. This obviously we've done a lot of projects in the past where we've installed it on facades. The main benefit, apart from generating power on an area that is currently just a non-active area, is the thermal gains. Because it's absorbing a lot of the solar energy, a lot of that light, it's reducing that heat going through into the building behind. So a lot of the time, architects come to us to say they've got a huge thermal gain issue. So we are there to stop that thermal gain and reduce the air conditioning loads, especially in summer in the UK. So again, planning-wise, we do have massive issues with planning in the UK. But this is a different way around those planning applications and getting it. We're going to have to. So here it is here. So this is the main one, the transparent glazing that I am referring to here. So we use a technology called cadmium telluride. It is slightly less efficient than your conventional PV panels. So if you look here, the conventional PV, you have an efficiency of around about 21-22%. Whereas it does drop down to around about 12% efficient for cadmium telluride, but then again you are using an area which is non-active to start with, and you're making that into an active area. That's obviously when it's in a canopy or on a skylight, you can't tell that it's a solar panel at all, which is the main benefit for the planning application. We do offer semi-transparent cells, glass cells as well. They both elements form the laminate of the glass, so you can't just go in and stick a film on the outside just yet. But we would actually have to retrofit the property. We would remove the existing glass and then refit the solar element. Semi-transparent is just a conventional monocrystalline cell that's embedded within the glass, and then you separate out those cells to allow that light to filter through. Here's a couple of projects that we've done in the past. So on the top, Sainsbury's, they had an orange amorphous silicon technology. Obviously, it worked very well with their marketing because it's the same color. But that was actually cheaper to install than a double layer canopy for a lot of their petrol stations, but they had the added benefit of the marketing aspect and it generating power for the kiosk and the pumps. Half a stage swimming pool, they were only allowed to install solar panels because of our glass. So that was a corrugated iron roof, and the planners only allowed that through because it was going back to the original state when it was built to the glass. We also do infrastructural elements or projects. So we do bus stops, solar carports, and market stalls. So if we go through a couple of images, here's a couple of, domestically we do canopies as well. So if you have already used, or if you've got conventional PV on the roof, then you can install canopies and carports that can integrate EV charging and inverters and things like that. Commercially, we do offer this as well, and again, we're trying to bring everything together where you generate the power above a car park, you then use it to charge your electric car, or you charge a storage system. And then facades. So this is a project in Gibraltar where they were having big problems with thermal gain in a reception area, so they did a large area of solar glazing there. So I'll just take you through a couple more case studies very quickly. So Shell Fulham, I don't know if anyone's seen this, but this is their first EV charging only hub. They've got a glulam beam structure with integrated semi-transparent panels as well. West Bromwich Market, they have installed 36 market stalls with transparent PV on the roof. Usually we would install that with a 20% transparency, but they chose to go with the 50%, and that was purely so the CCTV cameras could penetrate through the roof, and it's reduced crime in the area, especially at night. As you can see, one of the main problems is hiding these cables. So each pane of glass does have, it's a solar panel at the end of the day. We need to transfer that power away from the system somehow. So we've created a framing system that hides those cables so that they can be connected up to the inverters. Yes, please. I don't know how much time I've got left. 10 seconds. I will finish. And again, we do it on, you can see here the difference between underneath, looking through, and above the system. And this is what happens when you can't hide the cables within the framing system. We have to do a back edge connector that allows you to run it through a bit of trunking. So I'll keep going. Let's go through just to show you the photos. So we do carports as well. We do battery storage, different types of carport structures. And then this is at the Gloucestershire County Council Hall, where they did the flooring elements and as solar. It's a wasted space at the end of the day. They might as well generate some power from it. It's reducing their air conditioning loads in summer, so that's the added benefit. And then Gibraltar, and then the next process for us. The next area for us is greenhouses and agrivoltaics. How do we get power to the farmers' fields so that they can run their machinery, they can run their irrigation, and everything's going to be electric at the end of the day. So how do we generate them as much power as possible without reducing their yield? Okay, I think that's me done. Thank you very much.